September 11th. A day that will live in infamy. None will forget. Tears will be shed as our great nation vows to always remember.
The day Super Mario Maker came out! Yeah! During E3 of 2014, Nintendo threw everyone a curveball, debuting a demo for a fun create-your-own Mario level game. Since Mario Maker was still in its early development stages, the choices available to players were pretty limited. Now, almost a year later, with a ton more added and a suitable title change, we have Super Mario Maker! What will the sequel be titled, I wonder?
Please understand.
The objective in Mario Maker is to play, create, and share custom stages. Players can hop online for specific levels or use the create mode to make their own, which can be uploaded through the pipeline. The ultimate power is given to the user in this sense, and it's a refreshing course to see Nintendo take for once. You are the one who decides how much enjoyment is gained from Mario Maker. Of course, this might all sound pretty familiar if you've played a little game released on the PlayStation 3, Little Big Planet, which also received 2 sequels. Luckily, Mario Maker has vastly superior jumping physics, which means it's fun making levels, instead of a pain in the ass.
The meat of the game! The editor.
This makes or breaks a game based on user-generated content. Is there enough here? Does it all blend cohesively? Will crafting Mario levels still be enjoyable years from now? Let's find out. The second you boot the game for the first time, emphasis is directly placed onto,
oh hey, you make levels in this game!
We're shown how to place objects, wiggle things to change them, and more, all without obtrusive menus blowing up in your face constantly or a voice saying, do this, do that. There's a simplistic joy to editing. It's obvious that careful precision was relegated to making levels available and hassle-free for everyone. For old school Mario fans, you feel like a kid again. And if you're already a kid, you feel like a fetus. Many fans of Nintendo have dreamt of creating Mario levels, and now we can. At the start, you're given a meager amount of creation options. But as you tool around more with the editor, enemies, obstacles, power-ups, palettes, and more are unlocked. Each palette uses the exact same jumping physics, with the only difference being what Mario himself can do. Nintendo wanted to be sure that a majority of this would be available no matter which graphical style is chosen for a stage. So after a masterpiece is created, if it looks ugly as sin, it can immediately be changed without any issues. Even enemies and obstacles that didn't exist in some of these games can be utilized, such as wigglers and moles in Super Mario Bros. 1. Fuck yeah! There's a decent amount of content on show, and the editor offers more than enough ways for the user to experiment.
Of course it can't be all capes and mushrooms.
First, you aren't allowed to change the music for a stage. Those holding out to place Mario 3 tunes in their new Super Mario Bros. Stage, sorry. Levels can be created that scroll sideways, but not upwards. Water cannot be arbitrarily placed within a stage. The underwater theme must be selected. I just need to shut the hell up and be grateful, don't I? The editor is fine. Does it offer longevity? Let's put it this way. This sells well? You can bet your overall DLC won't be far behind. Hopefully without too much price gouging. The biggest issue I hold with level editing isn't the lack of content. It's the way the new Super Mario Bros. Palette is handled. First off, when comparing any other palette to their original games, they either look just as good or better. This isn't the case with New Super Mario Bros. When compared side by side, New Super Mario Bros. U blows its Mario Maker counterpart out of the water. The graphics look cleaner, the game is more smooth, and the enemies run at the same frame rate that Mario does. Check out this Goomba comparison. On the left, we see a Goomba moving around in Super Mario Maker. On the right, we see it in New Super Mario Bros. U.
You're probably wondering what the hell is wrong with left Goomba over there.
Well, to account for players loading stages with objects and enemies, Nintendo had to not only dumb the graphics down a bit, but make some things run at a lower frame rate to keep the game at 60 frames per second. This makes the new Super Mario Bros. Theme look cheap compared to the other styles, which all look fantastic. This only gets worse when you try and make things bigger. Ooh. There are a few different choices for playing. To begin, we have the 10 and 100 Mario Challenge. Both of these task the player with completing a set amount of courses to rescue the princess. It's kind of funny and sad how Nintendo laughs at its own overused plot device in Mario Challenge. The fucking Goombas carry her away. You know, the enemy that would be crushed if Peach accidentally took a wrong step. In 10 Mario Challenge, you play random levels created by the game developers themselves. And in 100 Challenge, you play even more levels crafted by the online community. These can range from decent to,
Oh my god, what am I looking at?
The main grudge I hold against 100 Mario Challenge is that the levels can just be way too random. There would be times where a course was over in seconds, and then other times where I'd be stuck with something undefeatable unless I knew exactly where every hidden death block was located. Thankfully, you're granted the ability to skip a stage if it's too hard and try a different one. Players can jump online to follow specific creators, see what levels are currently hot, view up-and-coming stages, enter codes to play levels, and more! The service works way better than I expected it would. After a stage is selected, you're almost immediately dropped in to start jumping. Once beaten, you can give it a gold star if you really enjoyed it, and leave a comment that the creator will be notified by. The premise is fairly simple and works very well, making it easy to find anything you want. The only issue I have is that cosmetically, the interface is a little bland. The way Amiibo are handled in Mario Maker is brilliant. They're used to unlock cosmetic costumes for use in the original Super Mario Bros. Theme. Nothing less and nothing more. Remember all those games that required the purchase of specific Amiibo to unlock content? Mario Maker takes a steaming dump all over them. You wanna know how many Amiibo are needed for this game? None. Every costume can be unlocked through 100 Mario Challenge or other means. So while owning a certain Amiibo grants immediate access to a costume, if anyone puts in the time and effort, you can get them all through the game itself. Do you hear that? It's as if millions of retailers suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something wonderful has happened. It's odd for me to recommend a game where the object of said game is to create your own. My head hurts. But Mario Maker does just enough to keep fans engaged, and you don't need to waste any money buying an Amiibo. Could Nintendo do better? Yeah. We could have had more options, enemies, palettes, objects, there could have been an actual story mode, blah 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 blah. But Mario Maker stands as a brilliant tribute to the plumber's 30th anniversary. Happy birthday, Fatty. You're getting pretty old now, aren't you? Nitpick out. Hello fellow nitpickers, and thank you for tuning in to another review. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and check out some of my other works, such as Balloon Fight and Nintendo Munchkin. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates on myself, and check out my secondary channel for more Mario Maker. See you next time.